Corporate management. Okay, corporate management solutions. Why not? Yeah, because, I mean, solutions. I definitely like solutions. Can she do it?
Yeah, we can add a solution.
Just solution.
Just solution.
Solution to everything.
Something with business or multicultural. Something.
Again. I'm still thinking that now we're doing the multicultural video, but in general, we can do videos about just, you know, training videos or any business and make more money. Money. Look, I don't know, let's probably start to discuss something about it.
We could think about this outside. We could think about this 10 minutes before the presentation and just add it in.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Where's Chad? What is this thing?
He's always in demand by someone.
Okay, I didn't have time to highlight my text because I was also late. But can I say me and Simon?
Go for it.
But me and Simon were thinking that it's actually, and we definitely have to ask Jack about this, but that it's actually better to do everything like in general, because I believe, again, I have to ask him, as I wrote yesterday, I believe that he said it's about theory. It's not about dimensions, I said, like time difference, and then, but it's something which has to be more like deeper. How do you apply this theory? So probably we can just take a couple of
examples.
Topic,
Scenarios.
like examples. But the video should be like in general about management, because here what we do is the management thing, not just the, oh, he's from this country and I'm from this country, or what the fuck, what should we do? It's not how we work actually, and I mean, I believe they're interested in this. Actually, I think that they will have lots of mistakes made by different groups only because they, I mean, I was talking to people, they're not really clear about it's only about management. It's not what you understand all the difference. It's how to cope with this, how to, you know, make it more. But I still want to ask him to be sure.
Yeah, definitely. It makes sense though, because as a company we wouldn't focus on one particular issue, we'd focus on a number of things, because we'd have to sell the DVD to numerous companies with different problems.
Yeah.
So what kind of problem? I mean, management is quite general.
Yeah, that's why actually I posted this link, because it's short text, but what she's writing about is just you know, problems in general, and I like that she has, you know, the numbers. It's not just text. So I'm asking you honestly if you have time to read it, because what I said to Simon, for example, the first thing she's talking about is that as a leader, as a manager, first of all, you won't hire a person who is not okay with differences, for example, like races or, I don't know, having problems. You won't hire this person. If you realize that this guy, he came to the interview and he's saying something like, oh, you know what, I don't respect women, or something else, don't want to make examples, hate these things. You will, and he probably is really good, but you understand, you work in a multinational company, you won't hire this person. And it was really simple example, but it was, I mean, it sounds reasonable and like, wow, it's good, this is good. This is the start for your business, the good start, the good point. And it's the first thing in management you will do. And then, and yeah, she has also like really short points. And the second one is that if you have the multicultural stuff, you probably should, that's actually, I wanted to think about myself. But what she's saying is that you probably should make people to learn about other culture somehow. That's the the point where we should think how it's kind of weird to make your co-workers to talk about your culture.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
It's also weird to put the videos like, hello guys, this is Russia, the capital of Russia, blah 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 blah. Also kind of
it makes sense because
boring.
if it's an individual can relate to another person's culture, then they will know how to sort of converse and handle them more. So.
And that's the thing. You have work. You should do it, but you also sometimes people just do not know anything about like China or England or. It's okay. I don't think it's bad. You just live in your country. You don't have time to read the history books. So what the manager should do somehow, we should think how to.
Yeah, there's a place I worked maybe 2 months ago. So what they do, like when they give you a job, you go for the induction. So you go for the diversity course. So everyone, I mean, it's mandatory. I mean, before you start work. So you go there, and it's like they have a PowerPoint now. They start teaching you, and they ask you, I mean, what you think about diversity. I mean, what it means to you, what it means to whether you know about the legislation, like the Equality Act, how it works. So those kind of things. So there's a training, I mean, which needs to be given to everyone, like during the induction before someone, so that people are aware of the things which they expected of before they.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So more like this DVD, like I mean, every business whoever are going to buy this DVD. So this is more like I mean, they could use for that induction and before.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that'd be a great idea to use for the actual DVD itself.
Yes, the thing is that it's actually not really hard to do. It's people have because here, for example, she also states the problems which you can experience as a manager and the solutions. And the thing is that I think, again, if we have like the points we want to talk about, then people who are doing research like I and Dennis and any will find the exact theories which we can, the references to apply to these points. And we just have to film it.
Yeah, because the starting point, because it's unfortunate, I think, is something which I think is proper. I'll get because they've got this like a handout for the induction, which I could bring. So they use the iceberg, to start with, they use the iceberg about Mount Kawja.
Yeah.
So where you see, so they ask you, what is it, that you see, what do you like about this place? What is it that you have noticed? So sometimes, it's the culture starts with seeing the things you see, the way people are doing, and the way people behave. So we can start with the iceberg theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
And about examples, I think that, okay, so we'll have this point about induction. So you I hired you, I made this all things, I told you, you work in a multicultural environment, you should know something that people are different, blah, blah. But still, problems can be. Because, you've listened to all that, but once you forgot, and you said to Simon something about, about his culture, something.
Yeah.
Problems can still appear, and that way we can apply the examples.
Yeah.
Like we can say, yes, this is good. You can manage people saying that they work, but still, and show a couple of examples and how you can solve that.
I think this is good. We can do it.
Yeah.
So you are probably thinking we start with an interview, if we hire this guy or not, and then
Induction.
just maybe the second part, just to check how he's integrated in the working group or something. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I just, in terms of, I shouldn't think about this now, but in terms of how make it, because people we used to make the PowerPoint and the references. We just can't live without them. And I mean, we can do the stop shot and, you know, something like from the theory statement made by some kind of clever.
Yeah.
And then we can actually divide the media files part one, part two.
Yeah.
But still, I need to share.
Yeah, and also what I was thinking is, obviously with the video's only a short time frame, so like 10 minutes or so, isn't it?
I think it's maximum 10 or
Yeah.
8, I'm not sure.
So we can only get a few examples in, but with the you know, we have our literature that we hand in, we could give other examples as well from other sources.
Yes, but the thing is that to make sure it will be a good part,
Yeah.
during the presentation, I believe, yes, as an introduction, we can say that, you know, different, the thing is that training videos can be different. It can be video that was on website I posted.
Yeah.
There can be specific video about how to deal with women, again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we don't, we should say that this video is not, it's kind of a, like an introduction to other videos
Yeah.
will follow that make.
Yeah.
To make sure, like,
So it
Guys,
shows that we're a
we tell
company
you, we
with
told you
potential.
that. don't make, give us a good mark, we told you, we informed you that this is the context.
Yeah.
It's why, it doesn't mean that that's it. We won't make anything else, and we wanted to say everything we know now.
And back to the iceberg theory, it shows that that's the tip of the iceberg, and then we have all the other products
Ew,
going off
This
that.
is a really good
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, we can expand it.
Yeah, sounds good.
There's lots of questions. You have lots of questions too, yeah?
Well,
Is it about
back
finance?
to-
For you?
yeah, well, I can go over. I've done the finance statement. I
Okay.
can go over that with everyone. Right. I'm gonna post it. Well, I'll post it on the Facebook page now. I need to. The grammar on it's terrible. I'm afraid. I thought more about the figures than spelling. I've put Facebook. Right. So basically, what I did with the financial statement is worked out a rough budget. So I've introduced what my general conclusions, and I broke down everything.
Yeah.
So how I did it is I broke down the cost of production, what I roughly estimate the cost of production as, and I took that off our overall budget, so I could see how much we had overall.
Yeah.
And then I split that up. I've basically taken the last 2 weeks of production, the 2 production weeks, and then the other 5 weeks, and I divided up the leftover amount between the weeks. Total, I'll just go for it now.
Are we actually over 7 million?
7,000. It's going to be very tight.
Okay.
Very tight in terms of budget, because Jeff hasn't given us much to play with. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't really. We may have to get a loan because we've got 8 people. We've got
Yeah.
used a lot of resources. 7,000. 7,000, and then say for instance, each hour you do is £100. So.
Is it research or creativity? Because I'm not doing anything creative.
Research. Creativity is £100. Research is £25 an hour.
Nothing. I'm not doing anything now. You should know that. I'm not filming. I'm
No,
not writing the
I haven't.
script,
No,
so
I haven't
you should
added that
pay me.
up. That's all right. I'm just saying.
I don't need money.
Hello.
It's going well. Guys, I've got a little bit of a problem, and it's this, that we've had this group that's imploded. I've located all but one of the individuals. He's quite content to just simply observe your group for his individual assignment, and then wouldn't really interfere with you at all. You can either use him or not, as the case may be. So you might want to use him to give you some feedback on what yeah, you can use it for anyone. The only condition is that you make available all your tapes so that you can see and
We can add him to the group on Facebook.
sorry? And add him to the group.
Yeah, no videos.
Yeah.
because we have a video for it.
Oh, okay. Brilliant. So that would be really good. It also means that if I've distributed all these guys, that I will be just your tutors I was originally, before I have all this aggravation, which is taking me away from you, which I really regret. But it's just something I've got no control over. And it means that then week by week you get me from my client, which may be a good thing or maybe not, but that's what happened. How does that
So we
seem?
can use these guys.
You can use this guy, but if you use him, you have to pay him. But as an observer, you can have him as an observer, giving him observation feedback.
Well, we'll see. Well, I don't think acting roles that aren't included in the budget, are they?
I'll have to have a look at the budget. I think it is included, but it's included under another.
How is it? Oh,
Should be, it has to be.
oh yeah.
I'll sign you copy that.
Can I wheel him in? Can I wheel him in? Can I bring him in? Because
Oh, yes, of course.
he's just waiting outside.
Yeah, we have to pay for the camera. I didn't know about the actors.
I'm not sure if we have to pay for the camera, I mean, for each meeting.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Because if that was the case, then budget would go over.
I was just thinking we
We'll double
Okay,
check.
this is Gonzalo.
Hello guys,
Hello.
sorry to interrupt your work.
It's alright.
If you'd like to take a wee seat over there. Right, so let's get going.
Last time you mentioned the same, that it's not just about the dimensions of abstract. It's much more detailed and factors. It's not just, being, oh, I know about different cultures. It's much more, am I right? Because we are talking now about to make a video and the whole project about a couple of topics. So we're trying to do the management theory in general, but there's a couple of them.
So what's your topic?
Management cultural difference in the same working environment.
Okay, so you're actually making a specialism of the cultural difference angle. Okay, so therefore if you're going to do that, then you need to think about, all right, well, if I was going to help people from lots of different cultures to work together, would it just be enough to sort of tell them how people from Syria behave, or people from India? Because that's going to be like a library of different things. So perhaps one of the things you need to think about is what are the skills you need to work with people from another culture, not trying to pigeonhole them, but trying to interact with them. What is the process of interaction that will enable me to work with people from different cultures? So what you're devising, therefore, is a kind of system of working that can operate with lots of different people. Now you could, these are just some sort of thoughts, you could talk about the problems of not doing that and bumping up against cultural differences. And then you might think about, right, well, how do we sort of say? There was a book by Schneider and Barstow called Managing Across Cultures.
Oh yeah.
You've seen that? Yeah? That's quite a good book. It doesn't give you little prescriptions in the sense of just sort of saying that people in this culture do this culture do that. There's also another book which I've got on my bookshelf now, but I can't remember the title. Can't remember the author, which I can let you know. Is there any
For example, today, just asking about the title.
for the title? Of course you can. Yeah, of course you can. All right. So it's and also you'll find in the reading list quite a few books about managing cross cultures. I don't know if you've come across them yet. So all I'm suggesting to you is if you use just a sort of simple Hofstadter idea, that's very, given this is your specialism, that might be useful to inform some things that you do. That wouldn't be enough. It would be very dull and would be very in breach of copyright.
And again, I was saying that it's not really about dimensions, it's about managing.
Exactly.
So I think that we have to give information about how to, not stating
yes,
that
how
you know,
to,
problems,
yeah.
but how to manage.
Yeah.
So that's hard,
Yeah. How to, but remember that the how to will involve a set of skills that may be appropriate whether people are in a different culture or not, or from a different culture or not. And so therefore what you might say is that this managing in different cultures splits down into what aspect of management are we concerned with, or leadership are we concerned with, for your prototype. Because it might be a mistake to see the prototype as trying to do everything.
Yeah, of course.
So do one thing well. That's one advice. That's quite a lot. Right.
Oh yeah, can I just ask two
Yeah,
questions? In terms of finance, I'm assuming there's outside of here, there's nothing we need to add in the budget because I couldn't find advertising anywhere.
No, because you're in a prototype.
So we don't have to include that. So.
You don't have to
Okay,
include
great.
advertising because it's just simply a prototype.
And also in terms of, in here we have the hire of filming equipment, hire of camera. Does that count?
No, that's just your
Yeah,
observation.
that's great. That's all. Thank you.
On the finance, I remember that you will have to include that when you're looking at the first, second, third year projections.
Okay.
The advertising costs.
Okay. All right.
So there's two budgets going on here.
Yeah.
There's one budget which is for your prototype, and there's a second proposed budget which is for launch and development. How are you doing? I'm smiling. Keep smiling.
I have a couple of questions
Yes,
about
ma'am.
just the written document
Yeah.
where we have to submit it before the presentation. There's here a list what we are actually doing. Is it exactly this kind of list we have to submit it for?
Yes, there's two bits to your submission. There's the actual video itself, or the actual YouTube presentation itself. There's, where's the kind of the presentation bit, which includes the video. But also there's the written documentation, which is what you're referring to there.
Is it like here?
Yes, it's exactly that. It's exactly that.
Okay.
Because what you're trying to do is say, look, in many businesses, organisations amass together data. The question is, how useful is that data? Or is it just done because it's the way you've always done it?
Yeah.
Does it add value? Really? And so the last part is to really sort of say, well, has that data added value?
Yeah.
What is personal journal?
Ah,
I'm sorry, I really...
that's okay. Did you receive?
It's my personal... So
Well,
I'm doing this.
it's you. Your personal journal. Have you got a copy of the? I handed it out through the first week.
Yeah, it's the second handout.
Yes. Well done. Well, that's okay because if you look on Moodle, it is there. All right, in week one. And what it's called is something like observation techniques. Right? And in those observation techniques, there is something called personal journal. And that personal journal is a structured reflection on an incident. So by week 6, I want everyone to have produced a personal journal entry.
So what I'm thinking about.
Yes. Yes, exactly. But it might not be what you're thinking about them specifically, but an incident that has involved you working with them. So, for example, it might be a proposal denied, right? It might be a clash of interests on a particular thing. It might be gaining someone's cooperation. So it doesn't have to be negative. It can be a positive experience. And what that experience has done. You'll find out next week why I approach it, and I do the MBTI. Because I'll tell you about my own profile in the MBTI as well, so you can see predisposed, as you will get an idea of your own predisposition.
We're doing about managing culture with us. We didn't take the specific area of business because we think is it?
Well, the market's so desperate for money. But what you're doing with this managing cultural difference is probably the emphasis is on cultural difference. Really marketing. The emphasis is on cultural difference as it applies to management. And what you might be trying to show is how you navigate. Rather than, you can do that for specific aspects of management, people management. So you might do it, for example, for negotiation. You might do it for conflict management. Do you see what I mean? My really strong advice is don't try and do everything in the one presentation. Certainly. Essentially, I would suggest that you might have a series. You might become one way of thinking about it is saying we are the business that deals with multicultural difference, and these are some of the titles that we will be bringing in the future. Do you see what I mean? So you might say, well, we've been dealing with multicultural difference in a conflict situation, dealing with multicultural difference in a negotiation situation, dealing with it in an assertive situation. So you're putting the envelope in a different place. So whereas a lot of films are about, or training is about, it begins with assertiveness, or it begins with discipline or something like that. What you're doing is you're saying, yeah, we do deal with that, and the main thing we focus on is how to navigate multicultural difference. So that's just a suggestion.
One quick personal question. In terms of the MBTI, I'm not sure about the credibility of the one taking because it's not as big at all. So is there another opportunity to take it as well?
Yeah, in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
So you come to my room in 2 or 6.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you then?
How much is it?
5.
Okay.
And it's not just for this module, it's for another module as well.
Okay.
So it's only 2 pounds. It's not even quantitative. That's okay. Don't thank us.
It's just, I mean, it always depends. There's some, because there's some questions do like to do things for having when they are done before the, I don't know, like, in other stuff,
Yeah.
it's because you're thinking of two roles.
Yeah, do you?
You're thinking of your role when you're yourself, with your friends, such, and your role when you're in work. And we're very clear, we don't want your role in work. We want your role when you're just doing you.
Yeah, that's
I think
So
I
great.
mentioned it. But don't worry, because this is not a diagnosis, right? It's a hypothesis. And next week you will get from me a very full explanation of the whole thing. And you will end up with two sets of letters. One that will be as a result of listening to me, and I'll put it in bounds. And then the other will come from your questionnaire. And it's for you to decide which you think most accurately represents your shoes off personality. Alright? So no one's going to diagnose you. I'll tell you that this is what you are. It's very much something that you become comfortable with. Alright? So no worries.
which room will I have to go to do the test?
You meet me in my room at N206, 3:15.
Yeah,
Alright?
that's great. Thank you.
Now, this is something just to help you out here. In your group is a microcosm of it's a brilliant group, because you are a microcosm of a multicultural setting. Right? Now my question to you is, how do you get people to participate? How are you getting people to participate? Now, when you look at your observation data, what you want to do is sociogram your observation data. So look at your sociograms over a period of time. So you've got your video, look back over your video, make some sociograms of particular 5-minute intervals at different times. So when you first met, week 2, week 3, whenever you started to do it, and just do some sociograms and then say, what does it tell us? What does it tell us? And it's only by looking at the picture that you begin to see what's happening. Now, it may be that you find the flows of communication are very much located in 2 or 3 people. That then forms a basis for discussion. Because you need to attend, as well as attending to the product, you need to attend to the process and find out really what's happening, what's going on. And this will be richer or less rich, depending upon how willing people are to talk, how much you together. My absolute total conviction is you'll only understand by asking questions. You will never understand by giving answers. Right? So don't prejudge, just ask questions. And one of the activities you can do is an activity whereby I can ask one question. What would it be? And you can just go around the group and that one question of anybody. So there are all kinds of little devices you can use to try and tease out what's going on there. But whilst you will do some reading and be informed by your reading, don't let that reading become your prejudgment of the situation. Use it to inform your question. The other thing I would recommend for you as a group to do, which I don't know if you've done yet, Manny, I don't know if you've done this, is have you done a team critique survey? Okay. I think when you next have a meeting, And at the end of the meeting, it'd be difficult to do it today because I'm taking one or two of you away. But at the end of the meeting, just go through the team critique survey and see whether you had a similar view.
I've been asked for States to replace a socket in here. Is it
Carry on.
is that fine? Is that you're not using power at all?
No, I think they're all on batteries.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Good? Are we good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So try not to get too obsessed with the product, and remember that the process is as important.
Okay, thank you.
All right? Yeah. Okay.
We're actually about 5 minutes. You want me to give quickly over the financial statement before I finish? Okay, so basically I collaborated all our finances and I concluded that if we continue at this rate, we may just about get in budget. I've come to this conclusion through an estimation of the cost of production in terms of the video, which comes to £1,165. This includes 2 hours of rehearsals at £50 each, 3 hours of camera hire at £30 each, 3 hours of recording at £100 each, 8 hours of software engineering / technical work at £75 each, 2 hours of editorial at £50 each, and 1 hour of data collection just in case we had missed anything beforehand. In addition to this, I added a contingency fund of £300 to act as as a margin of error for my predictions, because I could be completely out, as well as to use it for the project overruns from its budget. And this brings total production to 1,465, leaving £5,500 or so left, which gives us £790 a week roughly before we start production. And yeah, the production hours may seem quite small, but there's reason for this. If we plan well, then 3 hours worth of footage and 2 hours worth of rehearsals should give us well and truly enough, video time to put down. So 10 minutes, 10-minute video. If we've got 3 hours worth of recording, we should be able to make a relatively good video as long as we use our time efficiently. However, if we wish to come within budget, we need to realistically cut down on the meeting time or use our time more efficiently, as realistically, time is money. So the less efficient we are, the quicker the budget increases, and we could quickly be arrested from the budget, which is having to for a length of which is what we don't really want. But yeah, obviously I've just posted that on Facebook, so I went through that quickly. Obviously that probably wouldn't have gone in because it's still a load of figures, but it's roughly.
I'll get sure. Of course. Okay, I'll check my page.
We can.
So start with the research. Why?
Research, I think just should pick the area.
We have people here.
No, we haven't. That's fine.
I thought we have already.
What area?
In terms of also we're doing number 11, which angle are we going to take? Based on, well, firstly, your the introduction and maybe interviewing someone showing that you can't employ.
I would do like conflict or
starts the theory, that's when it comes in. So you see, like, there's things you can see which are on top. Then there's things which are internalized, which you cannot help, but they only manifest, I mean, the moment you start interacting.
Yeah.
Because now someone comes along. Now, I mean, my behavior starts, I mean, you know, certain things start to come out and start showing. Because it's something which is inside, you can't see it.
No.
But the moment you start interacting, I mean, then you can start saying, oh, he's got an attitude, he's got a problem with this. So,
I didn't do a big marketing research, but the videos I've seen, I really are more about conflicts.
So we can
We
go
just
off
focus
that.
on
We could,
conflicts.
well, if everyone's focusing on conflicts, then if we focus on something else, then it might be potentially better. What you think is,
It can be better, but
but
it's
if,
just-
it's probably easier to focus on conflict.
it was,
but
he
how
said
do
about
conflicts
conflict
start?
and negative.
Negative.
I shouldn't say this, but thank you. Yeah, about the how people.
It's more like communication. In that way.
So, I mean, in terms of, we don't know the market, but still, what do you think is, if you are a manager of any big, what is more, let's say, interesting, more important for you as a manager to look, watch what video about conflicts and resolving the conflicts, or about
Creating
Negotiation.
Thank you. Actually, there are other skills of management.
Because the idea is to create an environment where everyone can bring
Friendly environment.
bring the best.
Rainbow! Unicorns!
Just give me a minute.
Cookies!
That's where I think if we were to do something
Because
like
the
that,
conflicts starts because they come from because you've got
Yeah,
issues which are
yeah.
which are internalized.
Yeah.
And so now we have to bring those to the surface.
Yeah.
They have to come up.
yeah,
But now you need a playing field where
you have to
you
you have to
deal
release
with them.
them,
But for as long as they're kept within, if they don't
Yeah.
show, there's no way you can tell
yeah.
there's problems.
But no, if we were to do that, I think your idea of the, you know, you were saying you had that induction.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we could use that within a scenario and go from that. So that could be the introduction to building upon creating the environment.
Because like to start with, you can have the question, what is culture? So then that's where you put like the theory, because you can like list things like the attitudes, you know, all those
Yeah.
things.
You want to make a whole video about that?
Not the whole video about that, I'm just saying that could be included within it to show the creation of a multicultural environment. You know, like a minute or so of the video. We can include a number of scenarios within the video, can't we?
I think it can, as a script, as a video, it can go from general to specific. Like, first, part number one, you won't hire this person because you should introduce, do the introduction about our company. It's multicultural, so you have to. We can, for example, have one kind of like main character, the guy who's going through the opera.
Yeah.
So, and then step 3, if we're, for example, doing conflict management, that's how it starts to be specific.
So you could have all these stages, and then when it collapses, so something goes
Yeah,
wrong,
because,
and then you go
because
back
these
on
2 stages, they're quite common for any
company, international.
international company, for actually any company. That's what you do, first things you do, first steps you will do anywhere. And then the specific. So, for example, we're doing conflict, or I'm not teasing you. I'm sorry. Honestly, can't say.
Don't worry.
Sorry. And for example, we want to do conflict. So we have conflict.
Yeah.
So that main guy, for example, Dennis, he had the slide, he had an introduction, and he had the conflict. He killed a man. Burn him. And then this is a conflict and then, like, for example, two possible ways to solve it. Like, you as a manager, don't give,
Yeah.
or you, how you solve it,
Yeah.
and what happened, a conclusion.
Sounds good. Yeah, okay. That's really good.
Just, I don't know what, except of conflict management and this, sorry, this word management, what else, do you know what else we have, and how to look for it, how to ask, what to ask to Google?
We're talking of the art, things we can see at the top,
Yeah.
things we cannot see
Yeah.
at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine a person, walking in, they're looking for a job.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
get the impression of us.
So you look at them, okay, there's Dennis, and African guy.
Yeah.
People have got maybe this idea about an African person. Oh, you take him as he is,
Yeah.
as he walks in.
Yeah.
But now you give him a job,
Yeah.
then down along the road
Mm.
when he's employed, now
Find out
you start now to see a
yeah.
different person,
Yeah,
the person
definitely.
you saw.
Yeah.
So now we can start it from like a simple thing.
Yeah.
Maybe start breaking it down. Making it more complex as we go. So the person comes in, you're taking it as he is.
Yeah.
He is alright. There's no problem. There's no fault with him. He's all clean and smart and
Yeah.
everything. But now down the line, 6 weeks down the line, now he's got the job. Now you can now start to see
Yeah,
how
definitely.
he
Yeah, we could do that. We could do it from a human resources point of view. So, in terms of recruitment,
yeah.
but I don't know if the whole thing could be based on that. Really.
No, not
You just-
necessarily. No, I'm saying
And
like
leading
maybe
on
start,
from
then
that
we
whole
start,
that's the introduction. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that would be a good idea.
Then we start building on that
Yeah.
and showing other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, more like you're trying to say, okay, the things you see sometimes are not real. Because there's things which, because
Yeah.
sometimes what you see outside is
Yeah.
not what's inside. You can't see what's, because feelings can be internalized.
Yeah.
So it's more like, the things you see on the surface cannot be real at times.
Like someone could be look like the most confident person in the world, but not be. Or
Yeah,
Yeah.
so what it is
Why
now, we
not?
have to manage, to take that person to adapt him into the work environment where there's other people
Yeah.
who've got internal issues as well. So
Mm.
we need to manage all these issues, because if we allow these issues to come out
Yeah.
and we fail to deal with them,
And then
there'll be anarchy in the work.
yeah, exactly.
It's not, it's not really how you manage the feelings, it's how you manage
Like the conflicts.
people to understand that other people have
You have,
feelings and to deal with it. That's it.
yeah.
It's just,
Probably the way it's
doesn't
put
it
in
just
place.
conflict management?
Yeah, conflict management probably is the best way to go about it. It's just
It's just for me, it's quite important because you definitely need to know how to solve the conflicts, and you at the same time, you have to know how to talk with other
yeah.
cultures. It's 50-50 for me. It's both.
I think the dividing line is sort of thing. How do you think that is?
What do you think is easier for you, Nadia, if you're directing it?
So it's not, directing thing is not about, it's idea. You just,
Planning out.
yeah. The main thing is researching and theory stuff and because see now the research gets kind of like less broad because now we'll be researching only about conflict management. So we don't do anything except just looking for theories and how we can.
I was thinking about conflict management, there'll be an awful lot on it.
But do you
Theory
understand that we
wise.
should kind of like prove the is our marketing plan that it is actually the area which is popular. We don't have this information.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure. I don't really know how to find it because I was trying to look like what the training videos are most popular.
Oh yeah, no, there won't be. Yeah, because it's not
you,
really an industry that anyone looks into.
yeah, so how you can do the marketing plan when it's so hard to?
Yeah, I don't know. Projected sales and yeah. There's not really any public information whatsoever.
I will put this question to my email.
Is it alright, guys, if I dash off because I need to go see Jeff to do this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you should. Yeah.
If you just like write
Yeah.
Let's
a paragraph
do,
of what I
let's-
missed or
Do
something.
you have 3 minutes to talk about when we meet next time? What was it last time? Friday? Thursday? Oh,
Yeah, we met Tuesday at
Tuesday.
4.
oh, so next
So like
Tuesday.
Thursday, then we went on Tuesday. I don't know if you can
Yeah.
do it again.
If we can
I
do
can
it
do
again
Tuesday
at
every
4.
Yeah, I think we need to. I don't know. Depending on other
Oh,
people's
absolutely
Yeah,
fine.
Tuesday.
time as well,
Tuesday.
because we need to try and get this out of the way as well.
Because by next Tuesday we have to. I mean next week I think we should start to help.
Yeah, definitely. But no, yeah, Tuesday's fine with me again.
Are you okay, guys?
Tuesday.
I mean, yeah, it's especially for the research. If you can
Yeah.
manage it until Tuesday, so we can start thinking about the script.
Yeah.
Yes, the thing is that actually did now we kind of like a bit separating because now Sam is more focused on finance
Yeah.
and you doing marketing. You guys more focused on research. But then we do the idea, write the plan on Tuesday, plan and script. Not the whole script, but let's say like main points. And then we should think how to who will be
Yeah, I will do it.
who will dance.
Yeah, might be good to do a to-do list again, so that's useful.
To-do list.
Yeah.
I can post it.
Yeah.
You would like to do?
Well, Jeff said that he
We should
was
pay him.
observing.
Yeah, I'm just an observer.
Yeah.
By the way, where are you guys going to meet next Tuesday?
In the library, I will book the room to
And
be
then-
able-
It's 4 o'clock final view.
What about
Yeah.
Kensington? Well, can you, maybe Minnie, can you take his channels and add him
Oh,
on
well,
if
Facebook?
you-
We have had Facebook,
Yeah,
and we
I
can,
can add you, so you can see everything what we have done.
Yeah.
for my computer.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
cheers.
Thank you guys
I'll
for
see you on
having me.
Yeah, so, see you on Tuesday.
Can you give
So,
me
I'm
your
really
name
sure
or
conflict,
email?
conflict management, everyone is
Oh, Mrs.
fine with
Clement.
that. Yay.
Yeah.